Police in Georgia are still searching for the suspect in a bizarre shooting at an Atlanta area golf course over the weekend that left golf pro Gene Siller dead. Now, police responded to a report of a person shot around 2:20 p.m. in the afternoon on Saturday, and they found Siller on the green of the 10th hole of the Pine Tree Country Club in Kennesaw, Georgia. Now, according to a news release from the police department, Siller was found with a gunshot wound to the head and pronounced dead at the scene. Now, a truck had been parked on the green, and inside officers found the bodies of two other men. Now, in their press release, the Cobb County Police Department stated, detectives have learned that Mr. Siller happened upon a crime in progress involving the unknown suspect. And the two deceased males who were found in the pickup truck, it does not appear he was in any way targeted, but rather was killed because he witnessed an active crime taking place. A friend of the golf pro spoke to the media following the incident.
No one would set out with calculated evil to set out and do something wrong to Gene. Gene was a bringer of light, the goodness of God. He was a peaceful dude. He built community, didn't have one enemy. So there's no way that anybody had a premeditated agenda to move into this environment like this. Clearly, it's an act of evil.
All right, let's bring back in the think tank, trial attorney Ann Bremner, former police lieutenant, and trial attorney Rick King, and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor and law professor at Texas Southern University, Michael Sterling. Michael, I want to start with you because, this is one of those crimes that it seems completely bizarre, hard to make sense of, but I can tell you this much. This is the type of crime that makes a community uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've played at that golf course before, Michael. I've got friends who are members there. And, you think that is, you think a golf course is probably one of the safest places you can be. Usually in a sort of sheltered community, there's usually entrance and access points that are required for anybody to come in and come out, to egress and ingress. And so you just think about how safe you feel in your community, how safe you feel on a course, just relaxing, having a good time playing golf, and to bear witness to this senseless tragedy of someone who just happened upon a crime, just happened to be literally in the wrong place at the wrong time and find themselves a victim of this heinous crime and leave behind two very, very young children. It's sad. It certainly makes the community uncomfortable. I know, here in Georgia and in the greater Atlanta community, everybody's sort of on edge after seeing this.
Yeah, now, Ann Bremner, I've been banning about the facts of this case. And look, Gene Siller was off, I think, working with a group, saw something weird happening, walked over to it, ended up this way. One of the people found dead by the truck was the owner of the truck the police turned out. I can't figure out, do you have any sense at all of what might have been happening here? Was it a truck jacking? I have no clue. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with you, Michael. And I also agree with the other Michael's comments. But in this case, as I understand it, the owner of the truck was not connected with the area or with anybody else there. And his body was found in the truck. And then what's a truck doing on a golf course? As I understand it, the victim was trying to say, hey, you can't be out here on the golf course. He's a golf pro, and he's also a pro golfer. But then the third body, we don't know. But it sure sounds to me like someone that's very erratic, to be driving around with bodies in the back of his truck, and then to shoot somebody that may or may not have seen the bodies on a golf course when he's driving onto a golf course, in front of everybody, and with bodies in the car, and none of it makes sense. I mean, it's like no sense. It makes no sense. And all we know is that he's at large. And how did he get away on foot? And how did he stay away on foot for this length of time?
Right. That's what I'm thinking. First of all, I don't know a tremendous amount about golf courses in terms of cameras, but that's why I'm going to go to Rick now and ask Rick, how do you go about even beginning to unravel what might have happened here from an investigation standpoint?
So I guess the police will have different avenues that they're going to search. I think they'll start with, as most of these cases, when we hear about them, especially here, we find out about cell phone usage and geo-net tracking and things like that. So you'll probably start with their last phone calls made, if there were cell phones found. What struck me as odd is that, first of all, the truck on the golf course is odd itself, but then the way the truck looked from the pictures, it had a cover on the back, so he probably didn't even see them. And so that's the whole shooting thing is really really strange to me. But the police will use that. They're going to start talking to witnesses. I know, and as we talked about before in here, everybody has a Ring camera, so they're going to look for video any place they can get it. Right now, they are leaving probably no stone unturned to try to figure out how this guy, because notoriously golf courses are kind of spread open. I mean, you have some woods, but they're spread open places. And unless he was hiding in the woods, and you'd have to expect that in the greater Atlanta area, they have canine tracking dogs, and so it's just odd that he was able to escape without detection.
Yeah, Michael Sterling, you sound like you're a bit of a golfer. You've actually golfed on that golf course. What about the getaway in this case? I mean, from your knowledge of the 10th hole, what that might look like as best you can, I mean, how easy it is to get off a golf course after committing a crime like this at 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah, I don't know. It would have been very difficult to get off at the 10th hole, especially to try to escape on foot. But you can imagine that there's probably not a lot of crime that happened in that particular area. There's especially not crimes this heinous. So you don't have oftentimes like people ready to spring into action, because there's just not that's not a real concern, a day-to-day concern for that particular community. So it may have just been that the response didn't get there. Nobody's expecting to go to a golf course and witness something like this. But yeah, to Ann's point, I don't know how he was able to escape on foot, if there was maybe another car around the corner somewhere for him or what. So it's very very hard to understand exactly what's going on here. But I always tell any of my clients who come to talk to me before they've been caught, I always tell them you have to imagine that it's on camera somewhere. There are cameras everywhere. Ring cameras, there's something that's going to capture you on camera somewhere, and you have to start with that premise. And so the hopeful part of this is that police will be able to figure out there'll be some sort of surveillance in the other area, whether it's ring cameras, whether it's surveillance video from nearby institution, whatever it is. Have to believe that there's going to be some physical forensic evidence that's going to be able to help lead to his capture.
Yeah, between cell phones and video cameras, man, it is really helpful to the police. But I want to play some sound from another friend of golf pro Gene Siller. He seemed to think that Gene was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Here's what he had to say.
The fact that this happened in the fashion that it did, we could have lost Gene, we could have lost any of our friends in a number of ways that day, in just as quick a fashion. This doesn't make any sense. We don't know why the truck was there.